Well, welcome to week 8 of Tuesday Night Heffron. And it's going to be a unique one because for the first time in quite some time, I was not there. So a big welcome to Alexis. And I've got her on gallery today, Alexis. So we get that wave. And John Sunday. So, John, I'm going to start with you and tell me what happened.
Well, for a start, Crafty, everyone said it was very quiet.
Yeah, I
I,
noted Brad Mills actually said, "Hey, had I known Crafty wasn't there, I would have been there."
yeah, actually, quick shout out before we start to Millsy. Never misses a Tuesday night, but unfortunately, he had to miss this week because a bit of an episode. He ended up in hospital last week. Might have gone a bit too deep in the dirty Warney. He's got to take a few weeks off. So, yeah, best
Okay,
wishes to Millsy.
wishing Brad Mills all the best, but refocusing on what we're here for, Tuesday
So
night.
week
What happened?
seven, week seven, season 38. So surprisingly, the numbers were a little bit not down, but quieter than the previous weeks where we've been topping 100 riders. So they had about 85 starters on the line, and fortunately, we dodged a bullet, a weather bullet, both at the beginning of the race and the end of the race. So racing got underway, Crafty, and also thanks to DJ Dev, because Dev hooked the microphone up to his speakers. So I was trying to do a Crafty, but Crafty, my maths is not as good as yours. And I couldn't calculate anything actually on the time gaps. But with a little bit of help from the sideline after about 5 laps, I worked out what was going on and gave the crowd the data and information that you feed them naturally.
Well, your maths is pretty good because I started today by welcoming everybody to week 8 when it's week 7. Yeah.
I'm
Soon to
always a
be
week in
week
front
8,
of
though.
you.
We're already thinking about, already planning week 8.
Okay, let's go to the gaps. I'm going to guess Colin gave C grade a very quick start after B grade. B grade entered the straight, pretty much standard handicapping. I have seen the results, and I know A grade got up, and Kurt Efer has won. But how did it pan out?
Well, I'll give you the quick overview, and then Alexis can give us the inside view from C grade. So C grade, shortly after B grade started, I thought there was a bit of a gap there, and then I really watched to see how long A grade had to sit on the line after C grade left. Damn, they sit there for a long time. It's a full 2 minutes plus until B grade hit the straight, and I thought, my God, that's a big handicap. I thought it was a bit unfair because, like I said, numbers were down. 26 starters in A, 26 in C, and B grade were the biggest with 33. So off they go, and at that point in the first 5 laps, I really couldn't work out what was going on at all with the time gaps.
It's like you've never seen a race before.
Got some insight.
It's like you've never seen a race before at Heffron. Is it your first time?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it from a different perspective this year.
But yeah, no, look, from the rollout, I think the previous week, just last week, was saying they'd slow down a little, but they had that week off and just came out absolutely firing. And while the numbers were down, Chris Collins had made the drop down from A to B. He certainly made a big difference in being a driving force. Certainly someone who wasn't was happy to just do turn after turn, and they were on it from the gun.
Yeah, Chris dropping down. Chris dropping down is quite interesting because he was doing bloody well in A grade. I know it's hard being the new fella on the block in A grade and not getting the wheels you want, but he's powerhouse. So if he was in B grade, John, you said that B grade were lapping in some 245s. If they were doing 245, that's A grade speed.
It certainly is, and that was in the closing three laps. And I just want to mention Chris, who deserved his place in A grade, but actually reached out to me and said, "Look, the A grade thing is, I'm not that he wasn't enjoying it, but he felt he wasn't contributing, and he just wanted to make a contribution. And my word, did he make a contribution to B grade last night? Big contribution, actually.
You almost need more riders like that, guys who are strong and are like, look, I just want to, I want to do turns. I want to work for the grade and, help everyone as opposed to just thinking for themselves. So full credit to him for, kind of making that step down, but then driving it and not just thinking I'll use it for glory.
In an effort
absolutely.
to speed up John Sunday, I know that A grade caught the B grade leaders and obviously the C graders on the bell lap because I've seen Ollie's video. So I know it came down to the wire. It was touch and go. But C grade, what happened in C grade? When did they get caught? Were they
well? To use your line on your race commentary, in my opinion, I thought at 6 laps to go, I'd worked out that yes, B grade were going to catch C grade, but I wasn't so sure about A grade. So B grade got up with it was interesting. They got up with 5 to go, and you'll notice if you look at the grade results in the Facebook page that I think only 7 out of 26 C graders finished. And that's because
guess who was 7th? Guess who came 7th, Don?
Wouldn't have been Alexis Calis, was it?
It was. He was. I've seen the results.
You managed to keep the camera recording just long enough to finish it.
Yeah, I do cut it after the stragglers. So anyway, B grade get up with 5 to go. C grade are still pretty together. But it was amazing in that sort of 4 to go, 3 to go lap that B grade kind of gained some extra confidence because they could sense the win. And yeah, all the C graders disappeared in pretty quick succession. And then at that point, I think at 2 to go, there was still a 20-second gap back to almost the length of the straight, in fact, back to A grade. And so they still had a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
in fact,
20 seconds. 20 seconds at 2 to go mean that B grade had a real big chance of winning it. In my opinion, John takes a long time to tell a story, Alexis. So in my opinion,
I feel like after hearing that race report, we're already in week 8. It was just going on for that long. But look, you're probably right. Look, 5 to 6 to go. B grade make the catch. They go straight to the front. And they pretty much kept the momentum going for them. And
how was it for you when the B graders hit the front, especially Chris Collins and so?
Look, it was probably one of the first weeks of the season where I think C grade were never really thinking they were going to win the entire night. It was pretty kind of almost lackadaisical until B grade quarters. So, you know, it kind of meant there were probably a fair few fresh legs. So I'm a little surprised only 7 finished. But B grade, they then kept that pace up, and it wasn't until the last lap, you know, right on basically on the bell line lap, that A grade made that catch. And at that stage, you probably thought they'd get all the way through to the front of the race, but it certainly wasn't without a number of B graders having a bit of a crack off the fronts and, you know, making those guys work all the way to the end, as you can see, you know, by the wonderful work of Ollie's video.
Yeah, I did notice that with 3 riders away at one stage.
Just about to add that. So at the bell, somehow Luke Cridlin, Jack Bennett, and Tom Bolton had snuck off the front of B grade, and so they were kind of already in that top 10 or 12 at the bell. Right. And if you look at the video, you'll see Ollie on Kurt's wheel on the left-hand side of the track going past the toilet block, and they're about 18, 20 wheels back then.
Was it the earlier work that Tom and Jack had done that it probably maybe had tired them out? Like, I mean, I don't understand how. Yeah, they got to the front. They were in such a great position, and yet Kurt Ether just blew past them once they hit that straight. That was just incredible timing.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And like I said in my race headline, just too strong, too quick. Couldn't even think that summed it up like that. That's all it was. It was, wow, it was impressive.
There's no doubt that Ollie Penny had the best wheel in the house all the way through that last lap. He couldn't have wished for a better position, and it paid dividends, him getting second. Is this the opportunity? Is this the segue we go to the video now?
Yeah, why not?
So, John, here we are. We're just coming up to the toilet block. The bell has rung. We've got A graders in front of us, Kurt Ether right in front of us, but most of the numbers I see are white and a scattering of blue, but there is some red numbers here. How many of the A graders are at the front, and are they at the front, John?
Well, what you don't see is Crido, Jack and Tom. They're further up, most probably in the top 10. You don't see them from this angle. So here's Kurt coming up behind the B graders. Some of them are backing off. Kurt just backpedals for a brief second here. Can't find us. There's
the 2 girls, Nicole.
So there's Nicole and Kira.
Yeah, but there's Jack there, number 1.
Yeah. So that's Jack there. So Jack, you're saying that Jack is in this a breakaway at the front? I don't think that's quite right.
Well, no, he was already in that front group. So Kurt
Right.
has just ridden on to the back of the group, and Kurt, Tom, and Crido were already there.
Okay.
And then so Kurt just sits on the left here a little bit.
So he's got Jack's wheel there.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Because there's
And
Jack
whoa,
right in front of him.
Hey,
Before...
Con, where you going, bro?
who was that? That was Dan Bonello, was it?
That was the Maltese Falcon swooping in from the left.
Yeah, and so Riding the Worlds has obviously done Dan the world of good. He can find his own way through the field. So coming in now, still some C graders in up here. Is that Lucas there?
That's Lucas, yes.
And other B graders as well. So John, and still on Kurt Ether's wheel. I'm looking forward, and the group is not together. You can. I'm not sure if you saw it, but there were 3 riders away.
B graders.
Okay, let's see if we can spot them again. There they are.
That's Chris Collins, Josh Coriel, and Hugh Harvey, I think.
Get real.
No, Hugh Harvey's behind it at this stage.
Okay, I thought it was definitely thought it was
no way a
rider with a red
sprinter is
jersey.
in a 3-man break.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
because that's legit. That is.
That's
they
legit.
are all the big. They are real. They're really making a go of this. That's pretty impressive. Coming up to the first pimple now, and up comes is that Cameron Fraser?
Hugh Harvey. There's Hugh Harvey there.
Yeah, that is Hugh Harvey there on the red kit. So those 3, if you look under the left hand of Kurt Ether, there's those 3 away. Can you re-identify them again?
That must have been Alex Scalia, number 45, who was in that top 3, because there are 2 now up the front.
You reckon that's 2? I reckon it's still 3.
Your eyes are better than mine.
I don't know. Okay. We'll carry on. And you could be 2. It's hard to say there as they come through. Now we're coming up to the second pimple, and they're pretty much closing in at this stage. You're right that Kurt Ether is a fair way back, but Jack is just only 1 in front of him, and up comes Hugh Harvey again.
He appears again.
Pokes his nose in, decides better off sitting where he is.
Okay. You're going to have to help me out. It's hard to see at where I've paused it, but who's the rider just in front of Jack?
Tom.
It's Tommy.
Tom Bolton.
You're kidding. Tommy's wearing a whole heap of ugly. What's he wearing?
He's trying to blend into the background. It's a camouflage kit. So
yeah, okay. I've never seen him wear that before.
So no one notices them.
Right. Okay.
So that's Clemens Timms on the front in the red, followed by Chris Collins, followed by Josh Curl. Josh does so well. So that's that top 3 riders. You can see them just there out of the bend.
And now, do you concur that it was 3 riders still at that point, John? Yeah. Okay. Good. I just wanted to make sure that you knew you were wrong.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go for it and let's see this thing unfold now. It's almost like the sprint started now.
If you just stop there, though, I mean, look how fast these guys start closing in on those front 4 or 5. Like, they just close that down. I can't believe how quickly they close from where they are to get to the front of race. It's literally like 50 meters, and they just go bang.
Right.
Unbelievable.
So to put it in perspective, Alexis, the front 3 are pretty much spent. They've been in that breakaway that entire time. In front of Tom Bolton is a possible couple of lead-out men for Jack Bennett. I did see Cridlin come back very quickly as well. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite often you see
Lockie Harrigan there in the crimson.
Yes. Okay, let's see how this pans out. And there goes the sprint on the right.
Yeah.
And there's
so Bonbon leads out. Bonbon leads out. Well, he's leading out Aidan Sinclair there. There's Jack on Tom. And by this stage, Kurt just got free rein, free space, and off he goes.
Yeah. good leg speed, and Richard Scrivens. G'day, mate. That was a pretty good breakdown. I'm very impressed with the three riders that were away in B grade. They didn't just give up on the chance of staying away, and it was plausible that they may have got there.
I think you're going to see that more and more. I think you're going to see B grade really pushing A grade for the rest of the year and into the next season, into the point score series. I think it's no longer going to be a foregone conclusion A grade will get up every week. I think the strength of B grade and the times they're lapping around, that's the level that I think every week
they'll be pushing out times around that 2:45. That's awesome racing. Impressive.
Well, if Chris Collins stays in B grade, Hugh Harvey learns Heffron a little bit better and stays in. Not that he needs to learn anything; he's doing all right, isn't he? 2 from 2. And Arlen Vazarian as well. Gee, there's some horsepower there. There's some, and B grade might get there. Let's go to Rider of the Week, John. I think you've already alluded to it.
Well, I have, but I
can't think of anybody. I've sort of shouted out Hugh Harvey. So Hugh Harvey, familiar with Heffron because he rides for Raymond Botany, turns up last Tuesday for his first ever Tuesday night race. Yeah. And I know he's a good rider. I know he's capable, and I know he can sprint. And he enters C grade, and I think, oh yeah, his first time, let him find his feet. What does he do? He sprints with the A graders, finishes 6th, light years in front of the next C grader, and just turns my grading theology upside down. Earns himself a start in B grade last night. And what does he do? This time, sprints with the A graders, gets 4th overall, and wins B grade. So I can't think of anyone who came to Heffron Park on a Tuesday night, raced in C grade, their first ever race, won it, then went to B grade the next week and won that as well. And on both occasions, got a top 10 finish and a top 5. So,
Rider of the Week, Alexis, who do you think?
I'm actually going to go a bit of a surprise one. Will Heffernan getting, he was got 4th in A grade. I mean, that's phenomenal for such a young rider to have stepped up so quickly.
Is he better than Hugh Harvey?
Well, he's about half his weight, so maybe.
So 50% there. Look, I wasn't there, so I don't get a vote. John, you're the senior member. You get the casting vote. So it will be Hugh Harvey for the 2nd week in a row.
I like Alexis's shout out for Willie. He did do well. But also, let's give the woman a shout out for last night.
I wanted to do that as well, John, because I saw Nicole O, and she hasn't made it easy on herself. There's no prize for being in B grade and being the first woman across the line. You've got to be first woman to take the prize. She did that ahead of Kira Wheel. And Alexis, you were thinking that Kira had a bit of a monopoly on it.
Absolutely. That's why I think it's fantastic to see Nicole there. And also Emily Watts was the other rider who rode really well last night in B grade. And she hasn't got as much experience around Heffron as Nicole and Kira. So with a few more weeks, she'll be another powerhouse.
Certainly will be. But Nicole definitely has made it hard on herself, actually, and struggled in the crosswinds in the last few weeks and really wanted to try and put in a good ride last night. 9 women on the start line, which is one of our bigger nights.
Okay, well, there was something that Alexis has been pushing us to go with, and John, we've spoken about it pretty much every week, but it's never made the cut onto the video, and that is, when will Ollie Penny win the race? Let's start with Alexis.
Look, I'm a big fan. I'm saying he'll win one before the end of January. I think he's put the work in. He's doing the work.
Do you think?
I think he'll win one before Christmas, but I'm going to be disappointed if he does win one because his videos are so good following the lead rider.
Yeah,
we'll have nothing to look at.
Okay, I'm sticking with what I've said all season, but I don't want to sound like a prick. So, yeah, I've said he will not
You're
win
a great
one.
rider. You love his videos.
I love his videos, and I don't think he can.
And from where they're positioned.
Yep. And I love the bloke too. I think he's a good bloke. More importantly, well, let's send it, and let's hope for good weather again next week for week 8. This is week 7, so I guess I'll see you next Tuesday. Heffron Park.
Next Tuesday, Crafty.
See you then. See you Tuesday.